Hi everyone. Today I'm talking about why it can be so painful to be an INFJ. Now, I myself am an INFJ, and if you are an INFJ personality type, I think you probably already kind of know what I'm talking about. I've talked to so many INFJs over the years, and this is probably one of the biggest things that comes up for INFJ personality types, is this feeling of it being so painful to be you. It manifests in a few different forms. Some INFJs feel very misunderstood, like no one gets them, they don't fit into society. Some INFJs feel very alone, like they can't really deeply connect with people in the way that they would like or the way that they would prefer. And some INFJs feel flat out rejected, like they don't fit into the workplace, they don't fit into the school they went into, they don't fit into their family even, they don't fit into their friend groups. Some INFJs feel a mix of all of these things. I know I personally have felt all of these things at one time or another in my life. So why is it that INFJ personality types struggle with this sense of pain and this sense of isolation, this sense of not fitting in, no matter what we do? Because we're also pretty good at being the chameleon in the group. We're very good at listening to other people and picking up on emotional cues and figuring out the dynamics of relationships and groups. So people do tend to like us and they're attracted to us, but at the same time, we don't really feel connected to anyone, and it can be a very lonely sort of feeling. So part of this is that we understand other people so incredibly deeply. We are very observant. We can understand the most subtle of nuances when it comes to facial expression, tone of voice, or when we're in a group and we see the power dynamics playing out in a group. You may have experienced this in the workplace or when you were in school or even in your family, where you can tell who's in charge when they walk in the room and how the other people react to them, and the deeper psychological motives that other people have behind those reactions. And you can see this whole complex sequence very, very quickly. You don't have to try to do it. It's like it's just right there in front of you. You're actually surprised that no one else can see it. And if you make comments on it or you talk about it to other people, a lot of times you'll get the very puzzled expression from them. And they're like, huh? What are you talking about? Or I didn't notice that at all. Mature INFJs have learned how to trust these hunches and trust these observations. When you were a little bit younger, you may have thought, well, am I crazy? Am I reading into things or overreacting? But as you get older and you see evidence of your hunches played out over and over again, you start to see, oh no, I really am seeing these things. It's just that not everyone else can also see them. So that's part of it. That's part of why we feel so alone, because when we are talking to someone, when we're in a relationship with someone, whether it is a casual coworker or it's a deeper intimate relationship, we tend to see all of that person. We see their essence, we see their psychological motivations, we see why they are doing the things they do, even if those things are kind of an enigma or seem to have a lot of different causes feeding into them. We see all of that. But on the flip side, that person usually doesn't see us. We are doing the chameleon thing. We are doing the eternal listener thing. And we don't really feel comfortable being vulnerable around a whole lot of people. So not that we're deceptive, but we do tend to mask ourselves a lot. We don't offer up a lot about ourselves unless we are asked very direct questions and we feel safe with the person, and we don't often feel safe with a lot of people. So there's this dynamic of, I really know and understand all these other people, but no one really knows or understands me. No one really sees the real me. So that's part of it. The other big part of it is that INFJs, as much as we really understand other people, we tend not to understand ourselves. Our own emotions can be very hard for us. Our own emotional landscape can feel like a tornado or like a hurricane at times, or sometimes like it's buried really far beneath and we can't get to it. We might feel frozen or numb. So a lot of times on the inside we feel totally overwhelmed by our own emotions, or we feel kind of frozen and very detached from our own emotions. And either way, whether it's that tsunami feeling or that very detached feeling, it can be very, very difficult for us to feel what we're feeling, figure out what we're feeling, and why we're feeling that way. so much of the time we remain an enigma even to ourselves. And this compounds that feeling of, I'm so alone, no one gets me, I feel like an alien, I feel so different, and I don't even get myself. I can't even explain to myself why I am this way. So if this is you, please know that you're not alone. You're just an INFJ personality type. All INFJs feel this way. And I've met a lot of them. They show up in my classes, they show up as my clients, they show up in my email inbox. I know a lot of INFJs. This is a very common thing. I am going to be teaching a class starting in September called Energy and Intuition for INFJs. And we're going to be dealing with all of this kind of stuff. The class is designed so that you can get to know yourself deeply as an INFJ personality type. You can figure out why you are feeling the things that you feel, why it always happens for you in this way, why this is so overwhelming, why you feel so detached at other times, how you can fit these pieces together into a working whole so you don't feel so misunderstood anymore and you don't feel so alone anymore. It goes without saying, there are also going to be a bunch of other INFJs in this class. So if you're interested in meeting other INFJs, which a lot of INFJs are, but they don't quite know how to go about doing it, in a small group, not like a group of 8,000 people on Facebook or something, but a small intimate group where you're actually going to be seeing other people over Zoom and in a small private Facebook group, this would be the class for you. I'm going to be doing a series of 3 videos. This is number 1, explaining a little bit more about the class, giving you a taste of what it's like. If you have any questions before I open up registration in, I think, just about 10 days or a week, please feel free to email me. In the meantime, there's going to be another video coming, so keep an eye on your inbox. If you're not signed up for my newsletter, please subscribe so you can get the next video. It's called How to Unblock Your INFJ Intuition. I'm going to be giving a few little teachings on our INFJ intuition, what it is, how to use it, because this is another one of the big problems I hear from INFJs, especially INFJ men, who really have a problem connecting with their intuition, trusting their intuition, knowing what it is, knowing what it looks like, knowing that they need to listen when it does show up. So if this is you, please sign up for my newsletter so you'll get that next video, How to Unblock Your INFJ Intuition. Or you can subscribe to my channel. If you're watching this on YouTube, just hit the subscribe button. I do actually a lot of INFJ related content and a lot of content about writing as well, which is a big interest for INFJ personality types. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time.